This is Chatham Today, and we are at the Farmers Market in Chatham on Route 28 with our host, Julie Dykins. And we're going to ask Julie some questions about the market and how it all started and where things might be going with this fabulous opportunity. So, Julie, tell us a little bit about how this idea came to you.
Well, as you might see when and if you pan, we're right on Route 28. And we're not in a pedestrian-friendly area, so we don't have a lot of walk-by traffic for my shop. Traffic tends to go by pretty quickly. And so I had heard through the grapevine that the farmers market was looking for a new home. So I asked around and got in touch with Kathy, who is the market manager, and invited them. And after some work with communicating with Ocean State Job Lot and my landlady, was a green light. And so we decided to try it about 5 years ago. So this is our 5th year. And
well, wonderful. I didn't realize it had been going that long.
Yeah,
wow.
So it's going pretty well.
That's great. I remember seeing you out here in a carrot costume one time.
Yes.
Trying to entice people to come in.
We tried to continue the market last winter into the winter inside with few farmers, and so it worked for a while, but it wasn't overwhelming. And I thought one thing I could do is get a carrot costume and stand outside and wave at people, and that was funny, but people liked it.
That's good.
But then the weather got bad, and so that didn't really work.
So you've been doing this for 5 years, and how many vendors did you start with? I
would say maybe 15. Kathy has quite a group that she's in touch with.
Yeah.
And
it was kind of word of mouth through her, an existing farmers market group that then needed a home.
Yes.
And you were able to provide that home.
Well, they were in South Chatham, in a good sized lot, but it was a parking lot, and the vehicle parking was terrible. So it just didn't work out, and so they began to search for a new spot, and somehow, I don't remember how I heard it, but I heard about it and found Kathy, and here we are.
And it's been a success ever since. And apparently Job Lot has been very kind to you and accommodating for the patrons and also for the vendors.
Absolutely. Ocean State Job Lot has been wonderful. We reached out to them originally, and they were very willing to listen and very kind and receptive, and we got all the paperwork and the insurance work and all that stuff done, and here we are.
That's great. Yeah. This is wonderful, and we're here on a nice sunny day, and they expect a large crowd, and we'll be going around talking to some of the vendors and some of the patrons as the day goes on here at the Chatham Farmers Market. Thank you very much, and we will be around. Thank you, Julie, for the interview. We appreciate it. We're here at the Chatham Farmers Market with Tom Barrett, one of the vendors from Westport, Mass. And as you can see, he does some vegetables, some flowers, lavender, which he has in his hand here. And we're just going to ask him a couple of questions about his experience here at the Farmers Market. So, Tom, how many years have you been coming?
We've been doing the Farmers Market since started down here in Chatham. So I believe we're on our 5th year down here.
Okay.
So we've been down here since the beginning.
Well, good. Now, so you bring things up from a farm that you have in Westport?
Correct. It's a family farm over in Westport, Mass. So we're about a half hour over the bridge or so.
All right. And how varied, when you come, say, next week, will you have different fruits and vegetables and plants, or is it usually pretty much the same kind of thing, whatever's in season?
Right. As the season goes on, we'll have a lot more produce. We'll have a lot more tomatoes coming in, especially cherry tomatoes, a few larger tomatoes, some more eggplants, peppers, squashes, winter and summer squash as the season goes on, turnips, root crops, and a few other things.
Okay. And now you got in touch with Kathy, the manager, to do this, or did you originally get in touch with Julie Dykins?
Kathy originally. We were originally at the Sandwich Farmers Market, which was on Tuesday mornings. So from there, we used to do the market and sandwich on Tuesdays and then come down to Chatham for the afternoon market. So it was a pretty long day, but that's how we initially got into it. And after a couple years of doing both markets, we decided to drop the sandwich and just come to Chatham and save all our produce for the market here.
Well, that's great, and it looks delicious. It looks like you've got some wonderful. These strawberries are just to die for.
Try one out?
Well, I think I will. Now that you, thank you very much.
Yeah, delicious. And you bite into them.
Oh, that's sweet.
Hi, I'm Rich Garvin here with Doug McCumber, and he's representing Westminster Meats here at the Chatham Farmers Market. So, Doug, how long have you been here?
Oh, this is my 4th season here.
Okay.
Working the Chatham Market.
All right.
It's a great market.
Oh, it is. From what I've gathered today, it certainly is. Now, where do you get your meats from, or do you raise them yourself?
I work for a farm in southern Vermont. I work for Sky Blue Ranch, a division of Westminster Meats.
Oh, okay.
They're in southern Vermont, just north of Brattleboro.
I know exactly where that is.
It's a great farm-to-table operation. They're great people.
Yeah.
They raise cattle, pigs, lambs, and chickens.
And all of this is done without any of the growth hormones and antibiotics
No, pasture-raised, no hormones added to food, no antibiotics, grass-fed beef.
Yeah.
It's the real deal.
It's the real deal, exactly. Now, how much meat do you go through in one of these farmers markets?
Well, that's a great question. It depends on the time of year.
Okay.
It depends on the weather.
Yep.
And it depends how hungry people are. But
It's a good thing you have it at 3 to 5, right? Or 3 to 6. They get pretty hungry?
yeah, between lunch and dinner, they come here. They
Yeah.
want some great meat, you know. But July and August are the best months. Obviously, the summer vacationers are here. The local townspeople support us, and it's a really good thing. It's a great connection of folks. I just want people to know that this really is one of the best farmers markets on Cape Cod. I do about 4 of them, and of the 4 that I do, this is right up there on the top level of it.
Hi, I'm Rich Garvin here with Chatham Today with Doug Foss of Foss Farms, and he looks like he has some great tomato sauce out here.
That
Do
we
you
do.
agree?
I do.
What's
I drink
in
it
it?
right out of the jar. We use 5 ingredients. We use virgin olive oil, tomato, fresh basil that we grow, garlic, and a touch of Wellfleet sea salt. And we cook it for about 2.5 hours, and we put the basil in for about the last 20 minutes, so it stays green, doesn't get bitter. And that's about as simplistic as it gets. It's wonderful.
How long have you been doing this, Doug?
About 2 years.
2 years?
Yep, we started here in the Chatham community.
Okay.
And we live in Sandwich, so we do the Sandwich Market as well.
Okay.
So Chatham's been amazing to us, so by far.
Okay, now,
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
how long have you been doing this?
3 years.
3 years. How did you get started in kettle corn making?
Just a guy I knew. He's been doing it for like 5 years, and I just got mixed up with him, and here I am.
Here you are, and it's been a good location for you, I bet.
Yeah, very nice out here. Yeah.
Well, we've been moving around the farmers market today, and just before we leave, we thought we'd stop off and have some delicious coffee from the Art of Roasting, a local Chatham company, with Jeff and Marty Harris, who have been running this operation for how many years now, Jeff?
10 years now.
10 years.
Yeah.
10 years, and they've been at the Chatham market for
3 years now. 3 years. Third.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved in roasting coffee? And I know you're popular with some of the local restaurants and breakfast places, so tell us how you got started.
So it was probably 11 years ago or so. We were out on a trip to California. We encountered a small cafe that did some roasting in the background, and we thought it would be an interesting summer-type job. It started with my brother-in-law and I, and we just kind of decided that we needed some summer work, both being teachers in high school. We decided that why not give that a try. So weekends all winter long, and then in the summertime, we kind of kicked it into full gear. And so 10 years later now, still going at it.
And you're in Chatham because?
We're in Chatham because I grew up in Chatham, went to high school here at the high school, and so we come down every summer being a high school teacher, so I have those 2 months off, and it's a good time. It's a beautiful place to be in the summertime.
And how did you get affiliated with the farmers market?
We came by one time in the summer just to see what it was like. We were interested in the local vegetables and things going on here. And Kathy, who runs the farmers market, said, "What do you do?" And I said, "We roast coffee." And she goes, "I like coffee. I think I need coffee." So she invited us to come, and so we did.
I'm here with Kathy Sanders McGowan, who's the manager of the Chatham, or the West Chatham Farm Market here. Now, how did you get into this business?
Well, I started out in Durango and Colorado. I helped start the Durango and Telluride Farmers Market many years ago.
Wow.
While I lived out there with the same business I have now, time after time. I was one of the first founding members of both of those markets, so I saw it be created from a farming community into selling goods locally. But the best thing that ever happened to the Chatham Farmers Market is Julie in local color.
Yeah.
She not only invited us here with open arms, but she helped work with corporate in Ocean State. And they offered us the parking lot during the market.
That was really nice.
That is amazing to the community. We are honored to have the opportunity, and we really appreciate Ocean State Job Lot. The most important thing about the market is the farmers. You know,
of course,
Julie
you wouldn't
and
have a
I run
farmer's
the
market
show.
without farmers.
Right. Julie and I run the show, and she started off helping me a little bit, and now she helps me a lot. So
Yeah.
I consider her, managing, co-managing with myself.
Yes.
So we're really excited, but we really want to, it's about the farmers, it's about
Yeah.
local, it's about sustaining, particularly our young farmers here in the Cape. That's what I'm excited about. If you look around, you're going to see a lot of young family farmers here. It's really about sustaining our own communities, sustaining the families that live here, sharing our local abundance.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how excited I am for this to be a sustainable community, for families to live here. It's such a beautiful place and part of the world, and so special. It's been preserved, and we're here, this new generation coming up, they know what they're doing, and they know how to spread the word.
Well, I tell you what, your enthusiasm is really evident. And I think that's a great promotion for what you're doing here. And I want to wish you continued success.